Welcome all. So in this video I will show you how to create a self-signed certificate and install these certificates to ElasticBeanstalk servers. Also we will not log in into ElasticBean EC2 server and change the configurations. Instead we will customize configuration by using .eb extensions and .platform. In enterprise applications, we typically use load balancer and use SSL certificate at the load balancers. But in small applications which doesn't have much traffic, such as this one, we don't require load balancers. Also, load balancers cost money. So if you remember, we use single instance while setting up Elastic Beanstalk environment. Another thing to note is terminating HTTPS in a single instance is different than in a load balancer, and here I will show you how we can achieve this on a single instance. So first we will create the SSL certificates. So to do that, open your terminal. So I have my terminal open, and so I will go inside desktop and create a new directory called tutorials or SSL, and I will go inside this directory, and here I will create all the certificates. So first we are going to create the private key. So to do that, you need to install OpenSSL. So I have already installed OpenSSL, so I'm going to use that. So type this command OpenSSL genRSA 2048, and I will output this as to private key.pem. So it created the private key. Next we are going to create something called CSR. To do that, type OpenSSL req-new-key, and I'm going to specify our private key, and let's output this file to csr.pem. So this will ask few questions. So name of the country, and just give US, state, locality name or city, organization name, unit, and now this is important, so we need to give common name. So the common name I will give devkonlinetutorials.com. So I will be generating certificates for devkonlinetutorials.com. It's the domain name what we registered in the previous video, and the email address. So it will ask you challenge password and just enter. So now if you'll open the folder, so you can see we created a private key.pem and csr.pem, and now we want to sign the certificate. To do that, I'll clear it out. Type OpenSSL x509-req, and we'll give this as a validity of 1 year 365 days, and this will be our csr.pem, and then signing key will be our private key, and I will output this to public.crt. So this will create the public key. So you can see the signature is okay, and let's open our folder, and you can see we have the public.crt. So now we can delete csr.pem, it is not required, but I'm just keeping it just for the sake. Alright, so now we have the certificates. Now let's see how we can install this certificate to the server. So as I told you, we are not going to log in into the server and changing the configurations. So open your IDE. I have my IntelliJ open here. So let me show you something. In a new tab. So this is the link, the documentation link which AWS provide. So here you can see something called EB extensions and the configurations which we can leverage by just using this folders or the files. So let's go to HTTPS, and there are different documents. I told you you can terminate at the load balancer or at the instance. So we want at the instance, and we are using Java platform. So here we are. So according to this document, let's create the folders. I'll just move this. So on the root of your application, create a new folder, new directory called .eb extensions. Okay, another thing to note that, so we are using Java 11 on Amazon Linux 2 environment. So there are two Amazon Linux environment. One is just the Linux environment and another is Linux 2, and both environments are fundamentally different. So here I'm using the Amazon Linux 2 environment, so just be careful with that. I created a folder called .eb extensions. Oops, spelling is wrong. Rename EB. Okay, so according to the document here, let me bring it. I need to create this file. So we'll create a new file called config. Okay, and I'll just copy this part. So this is a YAML file, and not the extension is config, but the format is YAML. So what it says is that it will create a file with below content under this path, and similarly with this one. So server.crt is our public key and server.key is our private key. So let's change the contents. I will open a text editor. So I have Atom as a text editor here. So I will first drag public.crt and copy all these contents and paste it here. And remember, this is remember with the indentations, this is important. And the next I will change the contents of the private key. So here I am, and private key.pen. Just copy everything till here. Command C or Control C and paste it. So this will create server.crt under etcp kitls search path with this contents. So we're good till here. Next, what the document says. Let me open it. Oops. So now we have the file, and now we need to create https.conf, and what it says is here, so it will create a file with the server block which will listen on port 443 and which will use our SSL path which we created here, and on the root location we need to provide something called proxy paths, and this will be the http localhost colon 5000. Remember, we are running our application on port 5000. So, and this documentation, this is basically for Amazon Linux environment prior to version 2, and we are using the version 2 environment, so we cannot just directly create a folder called nginx and conf.d and create this file. It won't work. So to do that, create another directory called dot platform, and then create another directory called nginx. Under nginx, create another directory called conf.d, and here create a file name https.conf, and what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna copy paste the path. So we are good till here, and I changed app port to 5000. Okay. Now another thing, so we need to create something called proc file on the root. So if you'll go search the documentation for proc file, or I'll just Google it. And even say this. So under proc file, we need to mention how we are going to run our jar. So just create a new file, proc file. Oops. It will be proc file, and under proc file I will copy this part till here, and remember our pom.xml, and the reason I gave this final name is to make it simpler, and copy. Okay, so now we have proc file in place, .eb extensions and .platform. Next, we need to package all these files into one. So what I will do is I will create a folder or a directory just called deploy. Oops. Okay, so I created a directory called deploy, and on the another window I will open the target path, this one, because I need this jar. So we are here, so I will copy the jar first, and then I will need the .eb extension and .platform and proc file. So by default these are hidden. By default these all files are hidden. I'm just unhiding this file and copy all these 3 files and paste into a deploy folder. Okay, let's minimize it. So now we have this, and select everything, right click and compress 4 items, and if you're using Windows, zip it. So I'll create compress and it's created archive.zip. Let's go to our AWS management console, go to ElasticBeanstalk. This is our application, and now we will deploy the archive what we created. So this is the archive.zip. Choose this, will create another version and deploy. Okay, now the application deployment is successful, and here's the link. Let's open https www.defkonline.tutorials.com. Something is on defk online. Okay, so this URL is not working, and the reason is we need to open port 443. Go to EC2 instances, select the instance, go to security, and you'll see the security groups. Open it, and we can see this that 443 is not open for the inbound rules. So let's edit the inbound rules, add new rule, and search for https. Oops. And add the cider block, save rules. So let's go here again and reload the page, and you can see the connection is not private, and the reason is we are using the self-signed certificate. So if you click view certificate, you can see self-signed certificate and all the details, and this certificate has not been verified by a third party. So in real world we need to use the third party CA to sign our certificate. So in the next video I will show you how we can use Let's Encrypt to sign the certificate. But for now I can just trust it and visit the website, type the password, and you can see we are able to see our error page. So we are able to successfully run HTTPS for our domain. So before ending this video, I will just do another thing and go to Route 53, go to our hosted zone and create another record type. So we have it www. and create another record just with the defkonlinetutorials.com and leave it blank and give it an alias as the same ElasticBeanstalk environment. So what this will do is, if we'll go to defkonline.com, oops, this is my website anyways, but defkonline tutorials. And anyways, so even though if you type devkeyonlinetutorials.com, so we can see our own error page. So next thing is to note that even though we can use HTTPS, and we are also able to open our website using not secure. So in the next video I will show you how we can redirect HTTP traffic to HTTPS. So see you there. Thank you.